Right friends, welcome back to News Analysis. We are going to deliberate on a new era in Myanmar. The topic name is, can Aung San Suu Kyi break the stranglehold of military? The country got independence on 4th January 1948, and prior to that, the leader General Aung San was assassinated, and he is instrumental in bringing independence to Myanmar, and he was assassinated few months before the country got independence from British rule. The country got independence on 4th January 1948, and now the leader Aung San Suu Kyi is the daughter of General Aung San. And if you look at Myanmar, previously known as Burma, its population is around 53 million. Predominant religion is Buddhism, and capital is Naypyidaw, and currency is Burmese kyat, and the elections were held in November, and in the elections Aung San Suu Kyi got 77% of the elected seats, and please don't forget 25% of the seats are reserved for military in Myanmar. And if you look at Myanmar, it got a long border with India, and several insurgency groups in the northeast have taken shelter in Myanmar, and it has got border with the 4 states. Please look into this slide: Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. These 4 states have got border with Myanmar. And if you look at the parliament composition in Myanmar, upper house has got 224 seats, out of which 25% of the seats are reserved for military, that is 56 seats are reserved for military. If you look at the lower house, total seats are 440, out of which 110 are reserved for military, and elections were held for the remaining seats, leaving the seats reserved for military, and out of the balance 75% of the elected seats, Aung San Suu Kyi became victorious in the elections held in November 2015. And if you look at the state of affairs of Myanmar, the first and the foremost point is the constitution was drafted by military, and the constitution, as usual, has given overriding powers for military. And second point is, Article 15(9)(f) in the constitution says that anyone with foreign children is ineligible to become president. This clause was kept deliberately with an intention to keep Aung San Suu Kyi out of the power, because her children have got foreign citizenship. Third and the most important point is 25% of the seats in parliament are reserved for military, and the military here is known as Tatmada. Please don't forget, if someone says Tatmada, it is the military of Myanmar. The fourth important point is Commander-in-Chief or the head of military will nominate 3 powerful ministries. The 3 powerful ministries are Home Affairs, Defense and Border Affairs. So, as per Myanmar constitution, the military hold enormous power, and elections were held for balance 75% of the seats, and out of those 75% of the seats, Aung San Suu Kyi has got a landslide victory, and which facilitated her party to come back to power, but she cannot become president because of this Article 59(f), which debars citizens for contesting the presidentship who have children with foreign citizenship, right? And there is some improvement after 2010, and Aung San Suu Kyi was released from house arrest. Then formation of a quasi-civilian government with minor reforms and minimum power to the people other than military. Then several political prisoners were released. Then several restrictions on media were eased, and formation of labor unions was allowed. Then some sectors like telecom are opened for foreign investments. So there is some change since 2010, and ultimately culminated in the elections, free and fair elections in 2015, and the nation unanimously elected Aung San Suu Kyi as their leader. But unfortunately, Aung San Suu Kyi cannot become president because of the constitutional provisions, right? Under these circumstances, she decided to keep Tin Kya as the next president, but please remember the real power will be with Aung San Suu Kyi, right? And now in this news analysis, we are going to deliberate on the challenges which Aung San Suu Kyi is going to face, right? So if you look at the first challenge, the country is under military rule since 1962. For more than 50 years, the country is under military rule, and under military rule, popularly known as the Tatmada rule. This Tatmada is the name of military, and under Tatmada rule, the country became almost isolated. Because of isolation, it is totally underdeveloped and one of the poorest countries in Asia, and socio-economic schemes like subsidies and benefits from the government reach only just 3% of the people. And how to bring millions out of poverty is the real challenge. And please look into this slide. Ne Win, he is the military ruler for several years after military took control of Myanmar in the year 1962. Now, how to bring millions out of poverty is the real challenge for Aung San Suu Kyi. Second important point, destruction of forests is the biggest problem in the country. And as per the reports, Myanmar has the third highest rate of deforestation in the world. Poor industrialization and poor infrastructure, especially in rural hinterland. HDI rank of around 150 out of around 180 countries indicate that lot more need to be done by Aung San Suu Kyi, and these things point to Herculean task ahead for Aung San Suu Kyi. Third important point, as we have discussed, military controls 25% of the seats in parliament, and constitutional amendment, any constitutional amendment requires more than 75% of the votes in parliament. Hence, if Aung San Suu Kyi wants to do something, it is not that easy to ensure major changes to the constitution or to ensure amendments to the constitution, and this is possible only with the military support. We have to wait and see how military will cooperate with Aung San Suu Kyi in near future. Fourth important point, military became successful to elect one of the retired generals as vice president. The country has got a president and 2 vice presidents. And one of the vice presidents is from army. That means he is a retired general. His name is Mint Sway. And this shows the intention of military to cling on to the power. Under these circumstances, we have to wait and see how Aung San Suu Kyi is able to govern and how far military will cooperate with the government. And all of you are well aware, 3 important ministries are held by military as per the constitution. The important ministries are defense, home affairs and border affairs. Under these circumstances, we have to wait and see whether transition to real democracy is possible in Myanmar. The fifth important point is Aung San Suu Kyi has got high reputation across the world. She will be the real head of government, but technically Tin Kya will be the president. And now the question is whether Aung San Suu Kyi can influence the world leaders and represent world summits or forums. That is the biggest question. Next one is, can this arrangement of Aung San Suu Kyi, Tin Kya be successful in the long run? Here the real power lies with Aung San Suu Kyi, and technically Tin Kya will be the president. Whether this structure, how long it will be successful, we have to wait and see. In India, we have seen for 10 years, Sonia Gandhi was the real authority as the chairperson of UPA, and Manmohan Singh was the prime minister, and we have seen this arrangement in India successful only up to some extent, and we have to wait and see whether this Tin Kya and Aung San Suu Kyi combination as a real head and technically the head of state, will change the lives of Myanmar, and can this experiment will pull on well? We have to wait and see. There are several ethnic groups like Wa and Kachin in Myanmar. There are several ethnic groups in Myanmar, and recently some of the groups signed agreement with the government, but there are several other groups which have not signed agreement with government, and some of these armed groups are allegedly supported by China. And can the new government tackle the legacy of half a century of civil wars among various ethnic minorities? That is the biggest challenge for Aung San Suu Kyi. The next important point is, what will be the plight of Rohingya Muslims? Rohingya Muslims are suppressed by the majority Buddhists in Myanmar, and Rohingya Muslims are living without citizenship, without any civil rights. We have to wait and see whether Aung San Suu Kyi will do justice to Rohingya Muslims. And if you look at India, Myanmar in spotlight, several insurgency groups from northeast have got bases in Myanmar. Can Myanmar undertake 1995 like operation? In the year 1995, Myanmar undertook Operation Golden Bird. Under this operation, it destroyed several base camps operating from Myanmar. And can Aung San Suu Kyi government cooperate in this fashion to destroy various insurgency groups operating in Myanmar? Second important point is, India can contribute a lot for the development of Myanmar, especially in information and communication technology sector. Can Myanmar take the expertise available in India? We have to wait and see. Third one is, can the Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar economic corridor, popularly known as BCIM corridor, become a reality or not? It will facilitate greater integration of trade and investment in the region, and Northeast will develop very fast once this BCIM trade and investment corridor becomes a reality. And we have to wait and see whether the democratic government in Myanmar will push this project through or not. Right? Please don't forget, this BCIM corridor connects Kolkata in India with Kunming in China, and it passes through Bangladesh and Myanmar. Can it expedite the planned Trilateral Highway between India, Myanmar, Thailand? This Trilateral Highway was planned long back. This project was conceived in 1990, and now the target is kept as 2018. And it will integrate the interior regions of Myanmar with India, and it will facilitate integration of India with the ASEAN region, and it starts from Murray in Manipur state of India and connects Mesot in Thailand. Once this highway, this is 4-line highway, once this highway becomes a reality, then India will be connected with ASEAN region, and Act East policy will become a reality for India once this Trilateral Highway becomes a reality. Next issue is, does it lead to more technological and economic cooperation as emphasized in Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation Agreement? This is the BIMSTEC agreement, popularly known as. This is for technical and economic cooperation between 7 countries. These 7 countries are adjacent to Bay of Bengal. This was conceived somewhere in 1997 or so. Dhaka is headquarters, but not much cooperation, because so far Myanmar is totally isolated under military rule, and we have to wait and see whether BIMSTEC agreement will realize its potential for having cooperation both technically and economically among 7 countries. And these BIMSTEC countries, please don't forget India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Bangladesh, these 5 SAARC countries along with the 2 ASEAN countries. These 2 ASEAN countries are Myanmar and Thailand. So these 7 countries, there is one agreement, that is BIMSTEC, and let us wait and see whether it will realize its potential or not. So, these are the challenges if you look at Myanmar and the world as a whole, and Myanmar and India in particular. We have to see whether Aung San Suu Kyi is able to overcome these challenges or not. And let us wish Aung San Suu Kyi all the best to overcome these challenges. Right friends, with this let us conclude, and please do join for SNT Health and Environment. Have a nice day. Thank you.